I adjust in my studio these mixtures, and I mix them with high glue myself. So this is a process of creating layers of beauty, layers and layers of sometimes over 100 layers before I begin to paint. Preparing the surface with pulverized minerals, which means in order for me to create beauty, my materials have to be pulverized first. And it has to be pulverized by hand, not by a machine, because the pulverization, if you look at the minerals under a microscope, they're not even. There's shards of prisms, millions of prisms, same weight and yet different shapes. So they refract, just like prisms refract rainbow. These colors refract rainbow into the surface of the painting. So if you layer them correctly, then the blue is not just blue. If you stay with it, if your eye begins to catch the refractive colors, they become prismatic. And they keep changing depending on the angle. And so this is the art of Nihonga, Japanese art, Japanese style paintings. And so as a practitioner, I've been doing this for a while, and I realized this passage, Jesus wept, literally connects with the reality of minerals being pulverized first, so that beauty can be created into the world. The painter, the ultimate artist, God, and going through a pulverization process is not comfortable, is it? We shed tears because we have been pulverized. And yet we do not know what the master has in mind. Hundreds of layers, slow art. Perhaps many generations before we can get to say, as Hejin said, this generational curse has been lifted and a new creation has arrived. Sometimes owning our calling with confidence means the understanding the gap between what we think God will do and what God is actually doing. None of us wants to go through what we're going through right now. We are being polarized. But none of us know what God has in mind. If Bana is true, the research is true, and the younger generation is more open spiritually than ever before, what do you think God is doing? Through our pulverization, through our pains, through our suffering, through our discomfort. God may be up to something, preparing you, this very room, as a pinhole into the future of new creation that we would not know unless we have gathered here, perhaps courageously, perhaps with a lot of discomfort. We are here together as friends for paralytics. We are here to celebrate something that is yet to come, that may take generations of sacrifice and leadership. But it's okay, right? If we know that. If we know that God, the master artist, is creating something beautiful at the end of time, then we can take the suffering. Because everything we do counts. It's not going to be left in the dust, because if we can worship there, the dust becomes these minerals. The dust becomes beautiful prisms that will refract the beautiful prismatic light that God is going to shine through us. But we have to do it together. And we have to be able to understand that our work, long term, will require for us to be present in our suffering, be present in our darkness. This work is a very large work called Charis Kairos, Grace Time, but the subtitle is Tears of Christ. Many layers of minerals, and then the prismatic light that you are able to see if you are standing in front of this painting. And it was done for the 400th anniversary of King James Bible, commissioned by Crossway, like nearby here. Yesterday I was thinking, as we were all disappointed when we got to the top, like we can't see anything, you know, the organizers worked so hard so that we can see, and here we are, like we're closed in this rain and fog. And then it occurred to me as I was thinking about what I was going to share with you, no, this is absolutely right. We are in a fog right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? We are surrounded by the tears of Christ. We can't see because Jesus wept and Jesus is weeping with us. Jesus is present in our circumstances, in our sufferings. Jesus is here with us literally. Yesterday, as we were so frustrated that we can't see, Jesus is saying, I am here with you. I'm here with you because I am a man of sorrows. And I know suffering. And I used to give a lecture on this passage, John 11:35, and I used to say, you know, I just pretend like I'm painting with Jesus' tears. That's what I do. And everything I do, I think about Christ's tears being present, like last night. But recently, I shared this passage in Princeton at my church, and there was a theoretical physicist in the room who knows something about conservation of, what is it, the law of conservation of mass. Okay, so Hejin boldly asks him, okay, Marco just spoke on Jesus' tears. What do you think about that? And he said, you know, I was really taken by what he said. When he said, well, Jesus' tears is with us today, I thought to myself, that is absolutely true. And she said, Hejin asked, probed, as a good lawyer, what do you mean, Pierre? Can you tell us, as a physicist, what that means? And he said, he was eating soup. Said, you know, this spoonful of liquid, that would be about Jesus' tears. If you were to ask me, what is the percentage of likelihood that Jesus' tears is present in this liquid, my answer to you would be nearly 100%. So yesterday, as I was looking at, I couldn't see anything, so I was looking at the window with liquid, I could tell you that Jesus' tears, nearly 100% likelihood, that is present with us. Physically present with us. So you know what that means? That means your tears matter. My tears matter. Jesus doesn't waste that. And he's going to commingle them in some strange way as a vehicle, as materials for the new creation to come. In such a way that if we didn't go through what we went through, and by faith ask Christ to take our tears and commingle that with His. And again, this is physically possible. Then something will be created by God that was never there before. Only you can do that. Only I can do that. Every time I paint, by faith, I am creating a portal for new creation. Now, you may not be an artist, or think of yourself as one. You were once an artist, or you were in kindergarten. Now you have been kind of weaned out of that. People told you you're not, and you believe them. Don't believe them, but we tend to think of ourselves as not creative, many of us. But think about this. You too can create something out of your own tears. Because of Christ's tears, that's not a wasteful act to think about, to build upon, to have a 10-year vision for yourself as a teacher, as a mentor, as a leader, as principals. What are you building with your tears? What can you create, especially if it's mingled with Christ's tears? So 2 ways to, we're gonna, I think, go into conversation now. If you want to pursue further this idea of merging, especially art and faith, for those of you who are in the field, but also in general sense, what I call culture care, rather than fighting culture wars, which no one wins, let's change the metaphor. Culture is not a battleground, but a garden to take care of. If you want to be in that conversation, connect with us through culturecare.com. We send out free newsletters, and I'm on Substack, IG, probably most of social media known to humankind. I am Fujimura. May your tears be reawakened.
Yes.
Together as we gather. May we be able to share them. I know sometimes it's hard, but we are in a circle of friends who most likely have shed those tears too. And as we do, know that by faith, Christ's tears physically are commingled with your tears. By faith, claim that and build your future upon these 2 words. Jesus wept. Thank you.